Materialismen er død. Det materialistiske verdensbillede er dødt i dobbelt forstand. I forvejen siger det materialistiske verdensbillede, at universet består af død materie, og at liv og bevidsthed opstår fra død materie. Det er i sig selv en selvmodsigelse, og det som man kalder the hard problem i videnskaben, at videnskaben kan ikke forklare, hvordan liv kan opstå fra død materie. Så det materialistiske verdensbillede er død i flere forstande.
Same thoughts, same information. Yes or no? Same choices, same behaviors, same experiences, same feelings, same emotion, same information. Same information, same biology. Nothing changes, everything stays the same. And where you place your attention is where you place your... So if all of your attention is on your body, if all of your attention is on the people in your life, if all of your attention is on all the things and objects that you own, all the places you live, the places you gotta go, the place you work, the place you're sitting, and all of your attention is on the future and the past, trying to predict the future based on the past, if all of your attention and energy is on the material world, then you gotta play by the rules of Newtonian physics. And everything in space and time takes energy to create. Are you with me still?
Vores videnskabsmænd og kvinder ved godt, at universet ikke består af død materie. I CERN arbejder de med at finde ud af, hvad universet er lavet af, og hvordan det fungerer. CERN er et enormt apparat, der ligger under jorden på grænsen mellem Schweiz og Frankrig. Et apparat, der består af flere ringe, hvoraf den største er 27 km i omkreds. Her sender man protoner i hver sin retning med enorme hastigheder for at få dem til at støde sammen i måleapparater, der er 20 x 20 meter og 10 etager høje. Og her der har man for længst opdaget, at universet ikke er lavet af materie. Materialismen er død, for universet er lavet af energi, og energi er information.
All of life uses information to organize itself into form. Without information, life cannot give birth to anything new. There's more information in the immaterial than there is in the material. When you see things and hear things and smell things and taste things and feel things, your senses are plugging you into the experience of three-dimensional reality. Yes? If I took away your sight, you couldn't see any longer, and you were still alive. And you couldn't hear any longer. You couldn't smell anything, you couldn't taste anything, you couldn't feel anything with your body. What would you be? You would be consciousness, right? You'd be conscious of what? Nothing physical or material, you'd just be conscious of you. Yes? So there is an invisible field of energy and information that exists beyond your senses. Listen to this. That is real. It's real, that invisible field of energy and information that exists beyond your senses is actually real. And it connects everything physical and material. And if you're unaware of it, it doesn't exist.
Det nye paradigme siger altså, at der er mere information i det immaterielle, end der er i det materielle. Og at universet består af energi. Når du lukker øjnene, stopper tanken, og du ikke hører eller mærker noget, så er du i kontakt med det immaterielle, hvilket er det meditation handler om.
Is it true that you could read a book and get information? You could watch a video and get information. You could watch a soap opera and get information. Your interaction with the environment is how we gain information. And all I'm saying is there is a whole nother reality in the immaterial where there's more information than there is in the material. Are you with me? More information that you can perceive with your senses. And that invisible field of unifying energy called the quantum field is a field of information with frequency and energy. And you are immersed in it. In fact, you are made of it. But if you are unaware of it because you have no attention on it, then you are literally experiencing reality as a person who's local in space-time. And if you are a body occupying space and time as an identity, as a person, then you're in a virtual reality experience. And now you got to play by the rules of matter trying to change matter. And in order for you to create something in your life, it's going to take time and energy for you to create it when you're matter trying to change matter.
Så du har brug for en praksis, hvor du kan modtage mere information fra det immaterielle, fra energien, fra frekvenserne, fordi du og universet er lavet af energi. Du består af energi, der vibrerer og af frekvenser og informationer.
Are you with me still? Learn new information and combine quantum physics with neuroscience, with neuroendocrinology, with psychoneuroimmunology, with epigenetics, with electromagnetism, Newtonian physics, and have people pay attention and stay present and interact with that information and learn that information. As they learn that information, they make new synaptic connections in their brain. Remember that? If you don't think about it, if you don't review it, if you don't repeat it, those circuits will prune apart within hours or days. So learn the information, then remind yourself what you learned. And by reminding yourself, you're reproducing the same level of mind and nerve cells that fire together. So now your interaction with the information in your environment is being installed neurologically in your brain, and you're creating a mind for that information. Are you with me still?
Og du har brug for at gentage din praksis og lære nye informationer og viden for at danne nye forbindelser i din hjerne. En praksis, der erstatter viden fra det gamle, ubrugelige, materialistiske verdensbillede og erstatter det med det nye. Og hvilken praksis kan det? Forskning i meditation og indtagelse af psykedelika viser, at de begge fører til de samme typer oplevelser og bypasser gammel viden, gamle vaner og ubrugelige meninger. Det handler om at ændre på indlærte vaner og meninger, der ligger i default mode-netværket, også kaldet egoet.
And I was just curious. I mean, I had this theory that there was a big similarity between psychedelics and experiences that were possible with a lot of meditation. And that was one of the original findings that led me to start looking for a spirit molecule, for a compound in the brain that elicited mystical experience. And I just was wondering how many of these monks got their first glimpse of enlightenment through their own psychedelic experiences. And it was astonishing. I'd say 90% of the monks that I asked, even more. I said, I would ask them, how important were your psychedelic experiences in your decision to become a monk? They said, well, very important.
Hvad er default mode-netværket?
The default mode network activates when a person is introspective and under normal circumstances becomes less active when a person shifts their attention to the outside world. But brain studies show that under the influence of a psychedelic, the default mode network is quieted, while other regions of the brain increase communication with each other. A mathematical model captures a normal brain's activity. In contrast, a brain under the influence of psilocybin reveals a dramatic increase in global communication. Thousands of new connections form, linking brain regions that don't normally talk to each other.
Which was a diminishment of activity in a very important brain network called the default mode network. This is in the midline, and it connects parts of your cortex, which is the evolutionarily most recent part, to older, deeper sources of emotion and memory. And it's a hub in the brain. And the brain is a hierarchical system. And this is the orchestra conductor, as one of the neuroscientists put it. It's a regulator. So what happens in the default mode network normally? Well, it's very involved in self-reflection, self-criticism, worry. It's where your mind goes to wander. It's involved in time travel, thinking about the future or the past. It's involved in something scientists call theory of mind, the ability to imagine that another person has mental states and is not just a rock. It is involved in what's called the experiential or autobiographical self, the way we kind of take what's happening to us and connect it to the story we tell ourselves about who we are based on the past and the future. So it's, if the ego has an address, it's in the default mode network. And what does the ego do for you? The ego kind of patrols the borders, right? It's what keeps out things that are threatening to you. It's responsible for the repression of subconscious thought or strong emotion, and it's a defense. It's a set of defenses, and psychedelics appear to turn this off to one degree or another. Take the default mode network offline. When that happens, to go back to your metaphor, whatever is blocking, the valve that's blocking lots of information from coming in from outside or up from below in your subconscious, that's allowed to flow. And so you are getting more information than you might otherwise. And this is a metaphor that Aldous Huxley used in Doors of Perception, that consciousness is eliminating more than it's creating. Consciousness is reducing our experience to that thin trickle of information we need to get ahead, to survive, and that you open the doors of perception on these drugs by turning off this network, and lots more information comes in, which can be overwhelming, but also extraordinary. I mean, that's wonder.
Det materialistiske verdensbillede er dødt. Hvis man udelukkende lever efter at modtage informationer fra det materielle, så lever man primært efter ubevidste vaner og meninger og holdninger, som er indlært i de tidlige år og tilegnet sig igennem opvæksten. Man kan sige, det er et liv i spørgsmålenes verden. Det nye paradigme viser, at universet består af information, energi og frekvenser, og at der er langt flere informationer i det immaterielle, end der er i det materielle. Og ved at praktisere meditation eller indtage en dosis psykedelika under guidede forhold, så bypasser man default mode netværket og modtager flere informationer fra det immaterielle. Et mere intuitivt, bevidst liv, fordi kvantefeltet er fyldt med energi. Et liv i svarenes verden. Det nye paradigme åbner op til fænomener, det materialistiske paradigme afviste, forbød og latterliggjorde. Det nye paradigme betyder, at psionics nu kan forstås, fordi universet er energi, information og frekvenser. Det nye paradigme viser, at universet er bevidsthed, og at psionics er bevidsthedens sprog og universets måde at kommunikere på. Tak fordi du så med, og du kan følge projektet via disse link.